Says I'm live. You know, I'm watching a lot of stuff go on about these migrants. They're not migrants, they're illegal immigrants. I don't care what YouTube's algorithms say. I mean, everything's topsy-turvy anyways, and the people at YouTube are going to try and flag any video put out there against this stuff. My 65 years of living in this world, and my first cognitive years probably started around 3 or 4, as far back my memories go. I've never seen anything like this. This is ridiculous. And I follow a lot of people, man. Truther channels, regular channels, left wing channel, or conservative channels, left wing channel. It, I don't even play the left paradigm game anymore. It's getting so ridiculous that the criminals are just showing themselves whether they're on the left or on the right. So, you know, they've become emboldened to do this. Let's say one thing: if you're coming here illegally, you don't have any rights here. I don't care what my government tells you. You don't. You don't. If you're in New York, you're being used by our government. You should be mad at the people that have bought you there. You should be mad at Joe Biden for telling you guys to come here and lying to you. You know, I don't hate anybody. I don't hate anybody, no matter what color they are, no matter where they come from, no matter what their sexual orientation is, whether they're male or female, I don't care. Okay? I'm 65, man. I've seen a lot. Spent 11 and a half years homeless. I have seen a lot more than the average bear. Okay? Like I said, if you're a migrant watching it, if you're illegal here watching this, you're being used, man. You're being used. Okay? If you're not a criminal, you're being used. You're a pawn. They're treating you like they're treating us here. That's the way they treat us here. Now you're seeing how they treat the American citizens. Like I said, I was homeless for 11 and a half years. 11 and a half years. Okay, I got to give my cat her treats. I'll let you say hello to my cat. There she is. That's my cat. That's my cat. Anybody who don't know me, who's never seen me on any type of live stream on Facebook or here, this is my cat. She makes it on all my videos. She's a camera hog. Back up, sweetie. There you go. And she's a pedigree Maine Coon. I have papers on her. Okay, she's a beautiful cat. And she basically saved my life because I'm an amputee, and she's my comfort animal. You know, see, it's a beautiful animal. Oh, there goes the buzzing from my speakers. Anyway, let me pull my train back on the tracks over here. Um, like I said, I was homeless for 11 and a half years. It took me 11 and a half years to get the help I need. Why? Because when a homeless person in America goes into a shelter, you don't get the help you really need. Yeah, they give you the bed, they give you a way to get a job, they give you food and all that stuff. But people need more than that when they're coming off the street. Because I was broken. I was broken. You know, you know, it, and they're treating you, the migrant. I mean, I'm gonna quit calling you guys migrants. You're illegal here. Okay, Joe Biden lied to you. Okay, he lied out his keister. He lied out his ass. The American government lied to you, just like they lied to us. So you still want to be here until we straighten out our own government? you should be going back and straightening out your own government. I mean, you should be motivated by what's happening here in the United States to go back to your country and say, screw this. These guys are idiots. Let's fix my house. Go back and fix your house. Because this is my house. You know, I put it in those terms very simply. And I don't hate these people unless you're a freaking criminal or a baby diddler. If you're a chomo, man, you need to leave my country immediately or you're going to find a wood chipper around the corner somewhere. You know, if you're trafficking people, you're going to find a wood chipper somewhere because the American people are starting to get fed up. And I'm not just talking about a little bitty bunch of people, man. We got the majority of the people fed up with this. You got the majority of the government. They got the majority of the people in America fed up with this. And I mean the vast majority. You don't call it the silent majority for nothing, man. Yeah, I know it was a generation, but you know what? You got boomers, Xers, millennials, whatever is between a millennial or MTV generation or whatever, and even Gen Z is starting to get hip to this stuff, getting hip to this stuff. So you got like 5 generations of people that are pissed off at their own government, and you're gonna be the focus of that anger for a lot of people. If you're a good person and you're here and you were deluded into thinking that this is the streets paved with gold, this ain't heaven, people. This ain't heaven. You know, if you notice our streets have got potholes in them, man, because our government's messed up. It's been messed up for the last 20 years of my life, even more. And like I said, I'm 65, man. Don't let the good looks, the youthful good looks fool you. You know, I'm an old man. You know. Yeah, I might drop this on some streams. You know, I might drop this on some videos about this. I might drop my own video in their thing so people can see it. I'm an average Joe. I'm not a YouTuber. I'm not a content creator. I came on YouTube to promote my computer animation projects, and YouTube scrubbed all that. They threw my first channel out the window. I don't even have the original stuff anymore. Because some of that stuff I kept it here and I've had computer failures and I lost some of the stuff. Before I was doing this stuff before he had the hard drives. You know, the external hard drives, they weren't big and bulky. If you're here and you came across the border, you're illegal. We know it. You know it. Our government knows it. Don't let them gaslight you. You know, if I went down to Mexico illegally, they would put me in jail or deport me. They would basically deport me unless I committed a crime down there. Then I'm going to the poop. Then I'm going to the pokey. I'm going to your prison systems, and you can't deny that. I live in California. I live on the Mexican border. I've been here for over 30 years. Since 1985, I've been in California. I came out here in the Marine Corps. You know, and I had to do a beautiful California life, get married, get divorced, and lose everything. Okay? And when I say everything, I lost my family, my kids. That was everything to me. I didn't give a damn about the money. So, yeah, that's what I want to say about this, you know? And like I said, I'm not a content creator. I'm just an average Joe on the street who just got a camera and got a YouTube channel. I was coming here hoping to boost my freelance status in animation until I got disabled. And then, you know, I'm just like, no, nobody's going to hire me because I'm a liability. I have a bad heart. I have had surgery on my neck, and I got my leg chopped off above the knee on the right side. I'm a liability. Any company wants to hire me, man. You know, they're going to hire an able-bodied person before they hire me. It's just the facts. I don't care how many laws are in place. As a matter of fact, they're violating so many laws right now. It's ridiculous to me. I've never seen anything like this before in my lifetime. 65 years, about 60 years of being cognizant, you know, with solid memories. I mean, solid memories, like 4 or 5 years old. That's where I remember, you know. I've never seen anything like this. I watched Vietnam protests. I grew up in the 60s. I watched the Vietnam War on television the 5 o'clock news and the 10 o'clock news. They had the war. They were covering the war like WWE WrestleMania, literally back then. And I've never seen anything like this. And the people in New York, I mean, I don't care if you're liberal or conservative. I don't play that left-right paradigm. Get your head square, man. These people, the people that are running this stuff mean you no good, man. They don't mean you any good, man. They don't mean you any good, man. They do not mean you any good. Okay? They don't. They don't. They don't. Um, they don't have your best interest at heart. They got their best interest at heart. They're sucking up the money. They're sending pennies on the dollar down to the illegal immigrants, and they're fucking making bank, creating all these positions so they can get their 250,000 and up dollar paychecks. That's how they get. That's how they. That's corruption right there. They're just getting paid just like the place that owns this place. Okay. Now, I don't get it. Why don't the smart people that listen to this garbage and then, saw what was going on, why don't they just take that ticket and go back home and fix their country? Fix your country, man. You know, this dude, I can't do it. They had a guy coming here from what, Venezuela, telling you idiots to run in and take people's buildings, man. You're gonna run into a hard way to go with that, man. Even if New York's gone soft, eventually they're gonna harden up and you're gonna start getting thrown out windows. I don't mean that literally, I mean it metaphorically. People are gonna start running you out of town. They're already trying to do it right now. The people are fed up. Go home. If you're fed up in your country and you came here because you're fed up in your country, you're being you're being abused here. Okay? I'd hate to be homeless in New York in the wintertime. I'm from Chicago, man. We share the same weather. You know, I wouldn't survive on the street in the winter in Chicago. Well, I might because I know how to build snow shelters and stuff. But I mean, and the people in New York, what is wrong with you people, man? I got a brother who lives in New York State, man. And if he's voting for this stuff, my little brother's voting for this stuff. You're an idiot, dude. I don't care if you got. I don't care what kind of IQ you got, man. You ain't got no IQ here. You got it all up here. Okay, I got both, buddy. All right. Eh, you're not looking. People in New York, you're not watching their voting systems because I guarantee you, all of New York did not vote for this BS. Just like all of Chicago didn't vote for this BS. Okay, if they did, you're a fool. Especially in my hometown. If you're in Chicago and you voted for the garbage you got right now, you're an idiot. Honestly, that Chicago people, we call each other idiots, stupid fools all the time. And these ain't fighting words, man. This is just the truth. Huh. You know, if people are watching this, you can't see the freaking corruption, man. There's something wrong with you, man. There's something wrong with you. If you can't see the corruption by now, there's something wrong with you, man. You- you're not part of the solution. You're part of the problem. Because I know what people do. They do this. They don't want to see. They don't want to look around. Just got to look forward, walk forward, just keep your eyes straight ahead. Don't worry about what's going on. Don't worry about it. I mean, now you're going like this, and they're walking you right into a freaking wall. The wall, they're gonna blindfold you and walk you into a wall. That's what's happening. It's happening all over the country, even in quote unquote red states. Okay, it's kind of funny to call them red states, and yet the hub of all the power is in a blue city. You ain't got no power if one of your cities is corrupt. And I'm not talking about Democrat, Republican, Independent. It's not about the voting system. It's not about the political party. All of them are corrupt. Okay, you got good people in these parties, but the machinations of the party, the structure of the party, the people at the top of the party are corrupt. From what I heard, they changed the Republican Party, the head of the Republican Party. Maybe it'll straighten out a little bit. But still, you got corrupt people in the Republican Party. It's in your face. It's not. This isn't about parties anymore. It's about good people versus bad people, man. It's about the uncorrupt versus the corrupt. And the uncorrupt within the masses, we vastly outnumber the corrupt. The only thing they got is the power. They got the power that they sit in. They don't have the power of the people behind them. And they're starting to find this out really, 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 really fast. And yeah, I do keep up with the terms of the times. I'm not some old buddy duddy that sits here and just doesn't know how to use a fucking computer. I might not vastly know the operations like a Gen Zer, but I know enough to get in this computer, get stuff done, and I could probably figure out the rest. Okay? You know, I mean, that's another thing about this crap with the Gen Z, man. You think it's old people are stupid, man? You're sitting on our backs, man. If we didn't start making computers in the 30s, you wouldn't be sitting here with what we got now. And that's two generations back from me. So each generation builds on the other generation's accomplishments. Gen Z, you guys are dropping the ball, man. Fucking millennials, you guys dropped the ball with your kids. We handed you, we handed you no race, very little racism. We handed you equal rights. We handed you gay rights. Okay, you didn't even have to work for them. 60s and 70s babies, we had to work for that stuff, man. When I say work for it, we had to live within that system that was dismantled and being put back together again. So yeah, there was a lot of prejudice on both sides of the fence, on all sides of the fence. Okay, we had to overcome all that stuff. I got mixed children, man. I got mulatto children. They can pick any race they want: black or white, Puerto Rican, Irish, German, Indian, Swedish, Native American. When I say Indian, I mean Native American. They got a plethora. I mean, they're a melting pot. My kids are a melting pot, man. They're American. That's what America was built on. We're built on a melting pot. But we didn't let people just run across the border, man. At the turn of the last century, at the turn of the 20th century, from the 19th to the 20th century, we had a mass influx of legal migrants in this country. Mass influx. My Irish great grandmother came over from it. My German great grandfather came from there, and my Swedish great grandparents probably came through that immigration system. Okay, the only part of my ancestry that's even indigenous is my Native American great grandmother who married my German great grandfather. And you know what that was like in the 1800s? A white boy wearing a squaw. Yeah, I'll use that term because I am Native American. I'll take a fucking DNA test to prove it too. All right. Anyway, why are we doing this? Why are we allowing this? Why aren't we just why aren't we just standing up and pushing back? Yeah, they got this, they got that. We outnumber these people. We outnumber them. Vastly outnumber them, man. If we decide to take to the streets in a protest and we can get time off work, most of these protesters don't even freaking work. That is their job to protest. They're professional protesters. And you can't tell me they don't exist because I was asked to be one in '97. They were going to send me to a protest training camp. And hello to Miss Yellow Hair out there. She's out there still. You asked me to you told me what was up about that in '97. So yeah, she's Native American too. She's a big blonde haired, beautiful woman, but she's half Native American and her Indian name is Yellow Hair. I won't give her first name. Now all I know is her Indian name is Yellow Hair. And she's got an actual tribal name from a tribe. I mean, look what they're doing. They're trying to divide us by race. That ain't happening. I know that for a fact. I know a lot of black people, man. They ain't going for this shit. I know a lot of black people. I live in I live in Santa Monica's ghetto. Okay, I know a lot of poor people. They ain't going for this stuff. All right, they're trying to divide us up by religion. I go buy my tobacco at a Muslim store, and I love them people. They are the nicest people I've ever met. They're not fundamentalists. They don't take the Quran literally, man. They take it like we take the Bible. It says peace and love and happiness, man. you know, they don't take the violent parts of the Quran seriously. I guarantee you they look at it more of a spiritual battle than a physical battle. Just like the Christians, we take it more of a spiritual battle than a physical battle. It's the people at the top want to fight each other. Okay, if we get along, they ain't got no power. They have no power. If you're a conservative Republican looking at me, hey, I'm an independent liberal, dude, and I'm telling you the same thing you like to hear. And I ain't saying it because you want to hear it. I'm saying it because I believe that. Okay, and I'm a liberal. I don't want these people in my country. I couldn't find a job in the '90s. I had to go get a cash job because all the illegals were taking up all the jobs. They go to Alvarado Street over here in LA and they get their fake passport, they get their fake IDs, they get their fake birth certificate, they get their fake social security card. And if you don't think it's happening, go over there on Alvarado Street by Alvarado Park and go look for it. It's all over the place over there. Oh, no, they didn't clean it up, dude. They told you that they cleaned it up. You haven't noticed they tell you they did something, they don't really do it. They just keep it hush hush out of the news so you don't find out about it. This system is corrupt. This is tobacco now, guys. Don't get all bent out of shape. I might smoke a little bit, but I very rarely smoke online. Smoke a little bit of weed because I got phantom leg syndrome in this amputated in this stump. That's the only thing that keeps the pain down. I mean, they're going back to the illegal migrants. You guys are being used. Okay, I have compassion, man, and maybe that's the liberal part of me that comes out. People I don't want to hear the criminals, man. I don't want anybody here illegally, but the criminals they need to go bye bye. You know, especially since I know what kind of criminality they're into: human trafficking, child trafficking. You guys will meet a wood chipper. You know, and this is straight up to the cartel members, man. You need to listen to what Admiral Yamamoto said. before he kicked off World War II. He said, we do not want to attack America because there's a rifle behind every blade of grass," and that's true. They might have disarmed a lot of the major cities, but you go into the boondocks, buddy. You got hunters out there, you got trappers out there, you got people that are homesteading out there, and literally, there's still homesteaders out there. Believe me. They're buying a plot of land and they just set up their own house and they just totally off grid. When I say off grid, they don't bring the electricity in from outside. And believe me, you can do it with on a personal property. You can probably get away with the solar panels and the solar panels and the windmills. And some of them they got water on it. They got water power too. I mean, you don't think those people are armed to the teeth out there? You don't think there's people in New York that are armed to the teeth? I mean, the Second Amendment's making a comeback, man. The only reason I never bought a weapon is because when I bought the last one, I bought a Walther P38 and I wound up selling it because I had kids, man, and my wife didn't want the firearm in the house. So I sold it. Walther P38 had James Bond gun, yeah. I sold it. That was back in 88? So I'm already registered to have a firearm in California, but I don't want one because the gun laws are silly out here, man. And the laws are silly out here. I've already told the cops in my neighborhood, man, if anybody breaks into my apartment, they're going to get stabbed up. They're going to find, unless they're armed with a pistol or a piece, I'm going to lock that door. I'm going to lock them in. I'm going to beat the living crap out of them from this fucking wheelchair. Because in order to get out that door, you're going to have to go through me. And you come to me, you're going to meet a knife. And I know how to wrestle. I know how to fight. Even with one leg, I know I can hold my own. And I already told the cops, man, I'm going to lock them in there and beat the living crap out of them, man. And I'm going to call you and have you drag them out the door. I'll unlock the door. The politicians do not care about us. They don't. There's a few that do, and I applaud them, man, and I stand behind every single one of them in every party. I don't care which party they're. If they're Democrat and they're for the people, I stand by them. If they're independent and they're for the people, I stand by them. If they're Republican and they're for the people, I stand by them. I'm a United States Marine Corps veteran, man. I am not biased politically. I can't be. Okay, I was trained not to be. When I took my oath, I took the oath to the office of the president. I didn't take the oath to a man. I took the oath to the office that man will hold. In other words, I'm obligated to defend that office, not defend the person in it. Because right now, the person in it, he can't even string a sentence together. He's probably got to have his diaper changed like 4 or 5 times a day. And that ain't no lie. The media is covering all this stuff up. The media is complicit too. I don't care where in the media. I'm even watching YouTubers start to become complete. The alternative media, man. I'm starting to watch these guys get taking that little fucking money to say what the hell they want them to say. I don't see any of these YouTuber channels run. I see some of them run out and talk to the people on the street. But a lot of you big YouTubers that I follow, with a few exceptions, y'all are starting to act like the damn mainstream media, man. How many ever walk on and just pick a guy up off the street and ask them their interview a human being from the public, man? Seriously. Grab someone from the public and interview them. What do you think it is? What do you think of that? The polls are skewed. We all know they're skewed. They have personal polls that they don't bring out to the public. And they do actual polling, actual unskewed polling to find out what's going on. Because all the polls are skewed one way or the other. People, you need to look up things like the Hegelian dialectic or the left-right paradigm. Two very, very fundamental sociological um, tools to manipulate society. And I can go into MK Ultra, and I can go into Project Bluebird. I mean Project Mockingbird. Okay, and all of these have FOIA requests attached to them. They have FOIA documents attached to them. So is the government saying that it's lying about what it told us that we asked them what they were lying about? We know they lied about something, then we ask them and they give us the truth, and now they're telling us that truth is a lie. Doesn't make sense. None of this, even YouTube, I'm looking at YouTube and I go for this video. It says age restriction. It's got two different things there. And if I age restrict it on one side, I can age restrict. How does that work? I'm not a YouTuber. How does that work? I mean, maybe someone on the outside looking in can, ask you YouTubers how that works. I don't know. That don't make sense to me. I got a logic glitch in my head from that one. A logic glitch, man. They went, whoa, that don't make sense. Going back to the immigration problem, man. You people, if you're here legally and you're good people, leave, man. You're being used by my government, man. You're being used as a political fucking pawn. And it's really disgusting, man. I'm disgusted with my government for doing that. I'm ashamed of my government for doing that, man. Why don't you migrants go to the politician's house that invited you here and sit on their doorstep until they let you in? That would be a real good idea, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it? All you people that don't have a place to live in New York that were told to come there, go to the mayor's doorstep and tell them you want a place in their apartment, because they're telling the regular people to do it. Why don't we go to the politicians then? This, as a migrant, if you're a good person, you don't have any criminal record, you come in without a criminal record, go sit on the mayor's doorstep, man. Say, hey, man, you're telling everybody else, why don't you take me in? They've already done experiments like that, man. They've asked people, would you take a migrant? No. The people that want this won't even take you. They're just virtue signaling, man. They're trying to make themselves look good. Oh, I'm for everybody. Until it comes to your doorstep. I got an American citizen sleeping on my couch. Okay? He's a good man. He's got a good heart. But I'm not going to take someone in here that is from another country. I don't know. You don't speak the language that I speak. We're bound to have some kind of cultural conflict. Because I might say something that's totally off the hand here, totally offhand. Is we say all the time. And you might be offended by it, or you might do the same thing to me. Believe me, I've already put a couple of people out here that are American citizens that got out of hand and get the fuck out. Okay, I'm helping. I'm not your fucking daddy. I'm not your mommy. Okay. And yeah, I do curse a little bit. I'm a Marine. What do you want? And the people that are putting this stuff out there that are focusing on this, you guys are still listening to the freaking news, man. They've been lying to you from day one. Go to the truther channels, man. We know what's going on, man. This is a freaking 5th generation warfare, man. We've been infiltrated, man. If you can't see it, man, half these people are working for other governments, man. They're getting it in the back. They're getting money in the back door from other governments and other and corporations. They're taking backdoor money, man. I call it backdoor money. Same with that. I can go local, Santa Monica City Council. Why is the city council having private meetings, man? You work for us. We don't. We need to know exactly what you're doing. You don't need to do this shit in private. You don't. There should be no private meetings anywhere in the public space. None. If you're an elected official and you sit on council, there should be no private city council meetings. None. Because you work for the people. That's shady to me. It sounds like Don Corleone having his little meetings with the politicians, man. Take him to dinner and shit, like Al Capone. Well, you already got Tiffany Henyard in Dalton, Illinois. She's a ghetto bitch, man. I'll call her that to her face. I don't give a fuck how much fucking bullshit. I'm white and I'll call her a ghetto bitch. Because I know black people are calling her a ghetto bitch. Okay? I know black people that are calling her that. So if they're gonna do it, I can do it. Hate zippos. That's why I call this rant and roll, man, because I rant all through this, man. I'm exercising my First Amendment rights to say whatever the hell I want about whatever subject I want. Okay? I'm not a bigot. I don't care what color you are. I don't care what your religion is. I'm not xenophobic. Okay, I like other cultures. As a matter of fact, I loved it when I was in Japan and when I went to China. I loved both of those cultures. I was a foreigner in a foreign land. So I know exactly what bigotry and racism is about. Especially my years spent in Japan. You don't think they like round eyes very much over there? Yeah. Do remember Nagasaki and Hiroshima. Okay, and a lot of them do remember it. And when they see a military man over there, the only reason they got respect is because that's the way their culture is. Behind closed doors, you're a round eye, you're a gaijin, okay, which means barbarian. Okay, they call it round eye. There's other different terms that I will not use because I don't speak fluent Japanese, and I'm not going to be misquoted on anything. But I know gaijin and I know round eye. I know those are the two derogatory terms they were calling me when I was in Japan in the 80s, in 1980, 79, 80. So I know I've faced actual prejudice because of the color of my freaking skin and the shape of my eyes. Like I said, I'm disgusted with my country, man. We've become the laughing stock of the world, man. We used to be a melting pot. Now we're just stale fucking cheese. We're a biological experiment now. Like us guys, we keep that shit in the fridge for about a month, and you got shit growing all over it. Yeah, that's what America's become. It's a biological experiment you got in your freaking fridge. Okay? I didn't grow up in this America. Believe me, I didn't. I didn't grow up in this America. Okay? I didn't. I had friends of all colors when I was growing up. My parents didn't like it very much, but I did. I didn't give a shit. My parents eventually accepted. My dad was calling my wife a nigger, man. She was black. My dad called me up. How's your nigger wife? I go, Dad, she's laying right here. You want to tell her that? I didn't appreciate it. He respected that. When I went home for my dad's funeral, my mom dropped a couple of N-bombs. I had to remind her, hey, your kids are mixed. Your grandkids are mixed. And you don't even want to talk to them. So I know what a bigot was in my family. Wasn't my dad. He was a cop. My mom. And I guarantee she straightened out living with my dad, because my dad, he might have dropped the N-bomb and a bunch of racial slurs in the 60s and early 70s. And once the 80s rolled around and stuff, all that stuff went bye-bye, man. His mind was open. he realized that ain't no difference between us, man. None. I can have children with any race in this world. I can go to Alaska and have kids, and I can go down to Congo and have kids. I can go to Iceland and have kids, and go to Vietnam and have kids. Okay? And these women can have my children. So where's the racism in that? You know? Like I said, these migrants, you guys need to go home, man. If you're good people, take the ticket and leave, man. Go back to your country, start over, start a blog, man. Get on YouTube and tell your experience of what it was like to come here and be lied to and be given the shaft when you got here. Okay, I welcome that. You wanna go after my politicians that bought you here, the ones that said, "Hey, the borders are open. Come on over, Kamala. Come on over, Kamala. Come on over, Kamala. Come on over, Kamala, man." She lied to you. Joe Biden lied to you. The State Department lied to you. They lied to you. So how's it different from your country? We're trying to fix our country here, man, and you're just making it difficult for us to do that. We fix our country, you fix your country. We got two countries. You go to college, you want to come here, fine. You come through the legal channels, man. We welcome legal immigration, man. I want to bring my girlfriend over here from the Philippines. But I can't bring her over here because you guys are running across the border. I mean, they messed up your country by sending good people here amongst the trash that they dropped on our doorstep. And I do call them trash. You got criminals and everything else crossing the border. And I've known that since '96 because we had El Salvadoran rape gangs that were homeless out here ripping the women out here in the street. And these people didn't care whether you were a kid or in a wheelchair. They didn't. We ran them out of Dodge when I got out there. When I became homeless and I saw this stuff happening, I got a couple of vets together and we started running these idiots out of town real quick. They were raping grandma in a wheelchair? No, fuck that. They were raping a little kid? No, fuck that. You got to run out of Dodge, man. We sent you down to Venice and let the Crips deal with your ass. They'll pull the trigger. We won't. Yeah, I sat on the fence when I was on the street. I wasn't dumb. I wasn't going to buck up against a damn gang when I'm sitting on the street unless they're dealing to kids. And I did buck up against the gang when I found out they were dealing with kids. Me and a few other good men out there and women. I mean, you illegal aliens are about ready to join our homeless population. And you don't want to be in that population, man. I don't care what kind of gang affiliations you got. We outnumber you here. Even our gangbangers don't want the foreign gangs here. Think about that one. You don't want to encroach on some Crips territory. You don't want to go and play with the Latin Kings in Chicago or the El Rukin. They'll mop the floor with you, man. They have numbers. They have the CIA backing. Oh, you guys probably got it too. So it'd be just a gang war. You guys wiping each other out. I don't agree with that either because there's a lot of innocent lives that'll be lost in that shit. My daddy was a cop for 34 years in Chicago. His last assignment was Area 1 gang crimes. You don't think I know what he did on the street? Now you got the National Guard in New York, man, and I guarantee you, sooner or later you're gonna get the hands off fucking sign, and they're gonna be pointing them rifles. Guarantee it. This is election year. They're cleaning up the homeless in Santa Monica because it's election year. They're cleaning up the homeless in LA because it's election year. I have 11 and a half years experiencing that. Every election year they played the homeless shuffle, man. Shuffle you from one jurisdiction to another jurisdiction to another jurisdiction, and then when the elections are over, wherever you landed, you were there for another 4 years. Guaranteed. Now, see, they don't want you. The American politicians don't want you to hear that, man. They treat our homeless like this. Now you're about ready to become part of that population. And all you scammers out there, eventually the New Yorkers are going to get really pissed off, man. I know it, man. I know for a fact. I've never been to New York, but I've served with a lot of New Yorkers, and they're a lot tougher than they look. And you know, I get a lot of information from the MSN, the mainstream media, only after I watch it on a truther channel, man. Because that's how they expose it. They show you exactly what they're saying, and then they turn around and show you the truth behind the scenes, man. Yeah, some of it is opinionated, but some of these opinions have been spot on. And if you're in the human and child trafficking community, hey, wood chippers waiting for you guys, man. As soon as the American people get fed up enough and we start really hitting the streets, you're gonna see how many people are against this administration or regime. This is a fucking regime. This isn't an administration. You're an election to know. I'm an election truther, man. That election was stolen. There's so much evidence, and they try to push it aside. But the more they push it aside, the more evidence keeps coming up. It's kind of like a landslide. The more you clear that landslide, the more that shit rolls down on you, man. When you clear a landslide, you got to start from the top. You start from the top, you pull that stuff back off the edge, man. You don't grab at the bottom because it's gonna roll right down on top of you, and that's exactly what's happening. Off topic, case in point, P Diddy. You know, our truth, our what? R. Kelly, our truth. I was watching wrestling, that's why I hit my head. R. Kelly, Usher, all that. That's the Black Epstein. Now they got the white boy Epstein. They got his shit sealed. That black boy, that black man, he gonna get exposed because everybody at the top is fucking racist. The Democrat Party is the party of the KKK. They're they're the party of the slaves. They're the party of fucking Jim Crow. Okay, how do I know? Because I lived in Chicago at the tail end of the Jim Crow era. Who was in charge of Chicago at that time? Mayor Richard J. Daley. Okay. They're gonna expose P Diddy, man, because he's black. They ain't gonna go after Epstein. He's white, man. You think you're gonna go after him? Okay, well, you think they're gonna go after Epstein? You want to talk about white privilege? Okay, all you black supremacists, man, you need to start looking at that party, man. You guys are sitting on the plantation, not me. Yeah, I do agree with Candace Owens on that stuff. I agree with a lot of black conservatives on that. They see the plantation. It's called a debt plantation. It's called a cultural plantation. You're gonna find out P Diddy and all them. They were working for the CIA, and they targeted the black community. Why? Because the black community has power when they're together. The more they divide your community and destroy your community, the less power you have, and the more power they have to infiltrate. Jesse Jackson and Reverend Al Sharpton, it, they they're race scripters, man. My dad saw this shit in the '70s, man. Jesse Jackson was riding the coattails of Martin Luther King. He tried to keep the black race divided, man. He did. And he told Al Sharpton, and what's wrong with Al Sharpton, man? He used to be a big fat motherfucker, man. He used to be a big fat Kentucky Fried Chicken eating MF, as Eddie Murphy would say. What happened? What, did you get on some crack real quick? Went on a Jenny Crack diet? Jenny Crank diet? These people are flying around in $1 million fucking aircraft, and you're sitting in low-income housing, and they represent you? Is that a fair? I don't see you guys with aircraft. You guys don't have private jets. They don't want you to have private jets. They don't want you to become Candace Owens. You know, they don't want you to become any black successful person, Charles Barkley. They don't want you to be. They don't want you to become that. Why do you think all these black rich people are crying? Freaking! How can you be a multi-billionaire, multi-millionaire, and cry about being oppressed? I'm oppressed. I'm sitting in low-income housing, man. That's oppression. Because these people that run this place, they don't hold themselves accountable. They don't like it when I do. And I tell them off every time I get on this phone. I don't care. Kick me out. How's it going to look to kick a guy in a wheelchair out? Because I'm speaking out against them. See, I got them caught between a rock and a hard place with their DEI, because DEI does include disabled people. It includes marginalized people, and I am heavily freaking marginalized. Heavily marginalized. I am marginalized at a point where I'm missing a freaking leg, and I've had cervical surgery, and I've had about 6 heart attacks. I'm totally marginalized. And I don't want them to kiss my ass. I want them to kiss everybody's ass in here. Everybody, not just mine. And if you guys from Community Corporation of Santa Monica hear this, hey, last on you guys, buddy. I'm gonna be laughing all the way to the bank. You do that. You don't think I got some kind of financial backup? I don't disclose everything I have, man. Don't. You don't know if I'm writing letters. You don't know if I'm receiving letters. See? I might keep this thing on to when I keep the door open like this, I keep that camera on so I can see behind me, because I don't like sitting with my back to the freaking door. My other apartment, my computer faced the door. Even here, when I first had it, the computer faced the door. But now I don't. And I got all kinds of barriers coming in here too. If I don't keep it on, I don't keep recording. According to rumor that they got the chips in these things are, even if you shut the damn thing off, the chip is still activated. And the chip has a back door for the CIA and the DOJ to walk in and spy on you. So, here's to the DOJ and FBI and all that. Fuck you. I took an oath to this country, and mine's still valid. You took an oath to this country, and you violated it. So, I don't know. I wanted to come on and speak about the migrant crisis because I'm watching a lot of videos about it. And believe me, I do go outside, man. People think I don't. I do. I do. I go out there and roll around a little bit. You guys call it taking a walk. I call it going out and rolling around a little bit. And then I have to go in, and sometimes I have to stand up to remind myself how tall I actually am. But go home, man. To your illegals, go home. If you're a good person and you got railroaded into coming here, okay, go home. If you realize you've been lied to, go home. If you've been trafficked, go get help. Ask someone for help. Okay? Because believe me, there's still good people in the FBI. There's still good people in the 3-letter agencies. It's the top that's corrupt. They're the ones that are tying the agents' hands. Same with the cops. The top is corrupt. They're tying the cops' hands on the floor, on the ground. This guy had to ask permission after I called 911 to come into fucking my apartment. I called 911 for a reason. You're asking me permission? What if the person that was holding, what if someone's holding me hostage and you pick up the phone? Ah, okay, he's okay. What are you going to do? Let me be a hostage? This is to the top of the police department of Santa Monica. Get your ass in gear and get your ass square there, whoever's up there. I'm calling you out because you work for me, buddy. You don't like to hear it? Hell with you. You work for me. You took an oath like I did. And my oath still stands. And I'm calling you out on your oath. Let the police do their freaking jobs out here. The DA, you need to leave. You've been corrupt since I've been here in 96. As soon as you took over, all this crap started with the homelessness. You're tying the cops' hands. It ain't compassion to leave someone on the street. That's disgusting. Ain't nobody on the street want that kind of compassion. Believe me, I didn't want it. That's not compassion. That's evil. Putting someone who can't fend for themselves on the street and saying you can't give them help because they're mentally ill. They have to make a choice. These people don't know how to make a choice. That's why they're freaking mentally ill. I knew that when Reagan let them out of the loony bins. That was the biggest mistake he ever made, was to close the state-funded state-funded psychiatric facilities. But then Reagan was a Bohemian Grove guy too, so he fooled everybody. See, all this stuff is a dog and pony show going back, all the way back. I can take you just back to Kennedy because that's as long as I've been alive. When they whacked Kennedy, all this stuff went unhinged. Kennedy wasn't going to bring us into Vietnam, and he was going to come up for a third. He was going to come up for a second term. I mean, he would have been there until Nixon. I guarantee you, we wouldn't have been in Vietnam. You know, we would have had a civil rights movement. Everybody, Jim Crow would have been out the door. The central bank was about ready to get cut off because I think it's the executive order 011, so there's zero and a bunch of ones after it. It was going to take the Federal Reserve note. It was going to take the Treasury note and not allow them to make it a Federal Reserve note. What was he going to call them? Redbacks or something like that? I don't know. I have to look it up. He's going to change the whole system, man. This is back in 1960s. There's been corrupt since that long. Hell, the CIA we used to be Nazis, man. They got the Weimar up in there. They got the SS up in there, man. They were the European branch of the CIA when it first started, when it took over from the OSS. You don't think this place has been corrupt since the 50s? Probably before that, man. Because look at all the laws he instituted, Jim Crow, all the garbage laws they were instituted in the 30s and 20s and before that. 1871, man, when we signed the charter over to England, and we became a corporation of England, like what was that? This is how they conquered the world. They really didn't use force. The East India Trading Company, they used commerce, man. The British after they picked up all these little ports and stuff, they conquered the rest of the places with commerce. The British East India Trading Company is very real, man. They were dealing with opium they were dealing with opium in China. That's where the Opium Wars came from. They were using opium as currency. See, that's what people fear. People fear people like me. And I say like me. I'm not saying me, I say like me. People that do research. I'm a history buff, man. I've loved history since I was a little kid. That was one of my favorite subjects, was history and art. I like to sculpt, I like to play with clay, I like to draw. Okay? Those are my two favorite classes. And then English. When I started reading English literature, I got into that. I'm an artist. And I'm not a bullshit artist either, man. If I am, I could be. You know, I ain't into that stuff, man. I'm not into hurting people, man. I'm not like I was in my youth, man. And this is to young people, man. You think people like me don't know anything, man? But I guarantee you, if a car breaks down and I'm in your car, and I say change the tire, who are you gonna? I'm in a wheelchair. What are you gonna do? I mean, hell, I go out in the wheelchair and change the fucking tire. I don't give a shit. At least I know how to do it. I can do brakes. I can do tires. I can change oil. I can change spark plugs. I know how to time an engine. Hell, I rebuilt an intake on intake part of an engine from a Chilton's manual. I didn't go to school. I got the tools that I needed, and I bought the manual. I read the manual, how to do it, what to do. Went through the whole thing, and I changed the intake manual 3 times until I found out my block was cracked. And I wasn't gonna pay. I wasn't gonna. I probably could have taken it into where I worked and had it done for free. I ain't lying to you. I ain't about that, man. I ain't about owing people favors. Okay, I ain't about owing people favors. There's one thing my dad taught me a long time ago: don't ever owe anyone a favor. Always try to do it yourself. Okay, and if it comes down to it, you have to owe someone a favor. If it comes down to either that or the thing doesn't get done that needs to get done, that's an exception. And then you got to look for someone that's got a good heart. They ain't gonna call in a favor for some bullshit. I help a lot of people. I very rarely ask for things, man. Very rarely, man. As a matter of fact, if someone comes up in here and I got food, I'm gonna feed them. That's what my grandma taught me, man. You walk into my grandma's house and my both sides of my family, we're leaving hungry. You sure as hell ain't leaving hungry. You're gonna have snacks and everything else in your face. And I'm the same way in my place until you disrespect it, you know. And I look at my country the same way, man. This is my house, man. This is my house. This is my house. Yeah, they own it. They own the building, but without me here, they wouldn't pay the rent. They wouldn't pay the mortgage. They wouldn't pay the bills. And they wouldn't be able to pay the salaries. And I keep reminding. They have to be reminded every day because they're already a million or what 3 million in the red right now after being up what 1 million or something like that last year. Someone got sued. Someone got fucking sued, and it was a big lawsuit too. They don't want any more of those lawsuits. And the more people that become educated about this stuff, the more of a chance that they're going to have to they either change or they keep getting sued. And sooner or later, the board of directors say, "Hey, man, we can't take you. We got to do something here." Because the board of directors is making money too. I guarantee it. They don't post anything, but they're making money. Okay, it's one big cabal, and they're taking your money and not doing anything with it. I can say my money because every time I buy something, I pay taxes, but I'm an SSI. I don't pay taxes. As a matter of fact, SSI are my taxes. It's what I paid in for 30 years of my freaking life at 13%. Yeah, look it up, man. Divide your taxes up. Divide Social Security out from income tax. Social Security is not income tax. It's not. They like to tell you it is not. That's your money. That's my money. That's a bank account. That's your retirement fund. You're paying into a government retirement fund. So separate your 13% on SSI from the rest of your taxes. Okay? And which one's more? Your regular tax is like 10 to 20% more. When I was single working, it was 33%. 33% single working. I don't know what it is now, but I know 13% and 20% was government and federal, state and federal, and 13% was SSI. Yeah, I did my own taxes. I didn't take some. I didn't take the H&R Block. I went and I studied the tax laws a little bit, and I did my own taxes. That's why one year I went exempt and got away with it. Got away with it. They can't come at me because it's on the bottom of the freaking form because taxes are voluntary. That's why they have to put it on the bottom of that form, but they don't want to tell you it's at the bottom of the form. It should say if you did not owe taxes last year and you do not expect to owe taxes this year, you can go exempt. Now, every year I got money back from the government. So how did I owe those taxes if I got it back every year? I penny for penny I got it back. How did I owe money on taxes if I got the money back? You see? So because I got all that money back, and if I got all that money back, that means those taxes, they weren't taxes. They were just money that they took and put in the bank account for a year and skimmed the interest and gave it back to me. So next year I went exempt. I made 180 grand. I cleared 180 grand in that year. Working for Douglas in the early 90s. I was stupid with the money, yeah, but so what? I was going through a divorce. I needed to get my comfort shit on. So thanks a lot, ex-wife. I mean, I don't even understand how people can even look at this stuff and see this as normal. How can you look at everything that's going on and see that it's normal? You know why? Because a lot of people are doing this, man. They're walking through life like this. You know what happens when you walk through like this? Like this, you get fucking blindsided, man. And then we go, oh shit, I didn't do. Well, you should have seen it because you got peripheral vision, but you're doing this. Same with everybody in these buildings, man. They're all doing this. I ain't gonna say nothing. They can kick me out. Let them kick you out. Then you sue the motherfuckers, man. You go into a shelter someplace else, you start a lawsuit and you sue the motherfuckers. Or you embarrass them in public, like I did when I was writing for the newspaper. I embarrassed these people, man. Just like I did when I was on Facebook. I guarantee you, that's why they cut out me doing these videos on Facebook for 60 days. Because Community Corporation made a phone call to fucking Facebook, to Meta, and if you don't think they got this much juice, all they do is look up. All they do is they sit down at the bottom and they go, hey man, these guys are making problems for us laundering money down here. Can you stop it? That's all they're doing, man. From the city and state level on up, man. They got into all this social media, man. Except for what I see is X, Rumble, and True Social. And all three of those are starting to pick up, man. Even BitChute's starting to pick up. People are leaving these platforms, man, because they're getting ridiculous. I'm glad I didn't become a YouTuber in 2010, man. I really am. I wanted to go up and show off all my animation as I was working on it. I was going to do all that, start and see if I can get a job, man. It was going to be it was going to be a live version of what do you call it, my resume or my demo reel. Yeah, I'm getting senior moments, 65 gets kind of hard to think, especially when you got a lot of heart problems and a lot of circulatory problems. It clouds the brain up a little bit. That don't mean I don't think. As a matter of fact, that's all I do is think. I go to sleep thinking. I sleep thinking, and I wake up thinking. You know, I had my first nightmare in like 10 years the other night. And it was about the crap that happened in here with my roommate and the lady he was seeing. I had an actual nightmare about that. I don't have nightmares, man. I don't remember my dreams. I'm sure I could if I wanted to, but I don't. I don't remember my dreams. Like I said, like I said, I mean, you gotta stop letting stuff happen, people. New York, stand the fuck up. Chicago, stand the fuck up. I'm out here in LA, I'm standing the fuck up. You know, LA was one of the, when I first came to LA, I loved it here, man. I mean, I was staying in the ghetto in Long Beach, and I loved LA. Okay, I was going to sleep to 9 millimeter fire at night, right in the middle of gang controlled neighborhood, with the black wife and mixed kids. I didn't die. Matter of fact, I made a lot of good friends over there. There's a lot of good people in these neighborhoods, man. They're just being held down by the gangs. You know, you got the guns, you got the power, man. Now they're taking the cops off the street. No wonder everybody's shooting each other, man. New York, what are you doing, man? You got people out there punching women. Where the fuck are all the men with some balls over there, man? What the fuck? They take your fucking balls? Hey, New York, they take your fucking balls? Men in New York, did they take your fucking balls? I keep saying it, man. The New Yorkers I met when I was in the court, they likely kick your ass you messing with a woman. Seriously, man. Same with Chicago, man. What happened to men in Chicago? What did they do? Take your fucking balls? I see women speaking up over there. I don't see any men stepping up to the plate. Where your testosterone levels too fucking low? Same with LA, man. Where the men in LA, man? What did they take your fucking balls? They didn't take my balls. I still got a big heavy set down here, buddy. You know, I'm full of testosterone, man. I'm so full of testosterone, I'm losing my fucking hair. Look it up. Like I say, where are the men in these cities, man? Where are the men? Chicago, I see a lot of women standing up in Dalton. Where are the men? Where are the fucking men? Oh wait. I guess that the super mayor got all the men by the short hairs, man, and she got them by the balls, man. She got them PW, man. And all you old schools know what I mean when I say PW. Okay, I can use that modern term simp. It sounds like it sounds like the men they represent. But you know, when I was growing up, if you got pussy whipped, you still had a set of balls on you. Okay. Nowadays, I guess it's simp fits because you guys got little tiny berries down there. You know, all you little simps. I hear this online all the time, man. All the Gen Zers, man, they come up in the comments section and they start throwing this stuff out and they give me this word salad psychobabble. And as soon as I start dismantling, it's like, fuck you, you're pretty, you're pregnant, you're pregnant. Hey, I can admit when I'm wrong, man. You know, but a lot of times I'm not wrong. You know, what I'm seeing in these cities with these illegal immigrants, man, I'm not wrong. You know, I don't see no men out there stepping up to the plate, man. Maybe New York, I do. I see a few men saying in Chicago, Dalton, man, where are all the men in Dalton, man? Dalton, where are all the men, man? Where are they? Man, I got nothing against a strong ass woman, man, but they need a strong ass man to stand next to that strong ass woman and build that strength. United we stand, divided we fall. Why do you think they're trying to divide the families up, man? You can have a strong woman and a strong man running a good family. Doesn't matter whether the woman stays home and does housework and the man goes out and busts his ass. Because when I went out and I busted my ass at work, I knew my wife was busting her ass at home taking care of the kids. When my dad went to work, I knew my mom. My mom was busting her ass taking care of us kids, man. She was busting her ass, man. She was working hard. She was working hard to take care of the household. Half you women don't even want to get up and cook for yourselves, man. You want a guy to take you out to dinner. Beta ladies, all you little feminisms. Oh, no, I'm a liberal, dude. I'm all for equal rights for women, man. Matter of fact, I'm so for equal rights, man. Why don't you go in and box fucking Mike Tyson, man? He's a 57-year-old man. Why don't one of you young ladies in the MMA go box that man? Why not? You'd rather go beat up a fucking woman? You know, I got. You want to call me transphobic? That's fine. That's fine. You're heterophobe. Heterophobic. You're afraid of straight people. You hate straight people. Heterophobic. No, heterophobic means you fear straight people. You fear what you are, but you want to deny that you are because you want to fit into some fucking mold. Yeah, I'm ranting now. You know, I don't care. I don't care. You know, YouTube can take down demonetize. I'm not even looking for monetization. I'm just here to rant and roll. I don't care if I get paid for this or not. I don't. I really don't. I really don't. I'm not even going to say it'd be nice if I did, because I really don't. I'd rather have my voice out there. I wrote for a local newspaper pretty much for free because my voice needed to be heard. Okay? Because I had other voices behind me on the street that needed to be heard. And I echoed every single one of them, man. Now I got people in this building, their voices need to be heard. There's people in this building that are afraid to talk up to these people at the top. They think that they own them, man. They take advantage of their fucking gratitude. And I said this before in other videos, man. How do you take advantage of someone's gratitude, man? How can you be so callous and heartless and disconnected? I even wrote a letter to the lady. I said, you guys are all disconnected, man. You don't know what the hell is going on in these buildings. Some of you don't want to know because all you're doing is collecting a fucking paycheck. Half you got hired because of this. And they know it and I know it. And they don't like when I bring it up all the time. You don't want to rub their nose in it, you know? When I was growing up, we always had dogs. You know? Yeah, we paper trained the dog. But if that dog pooped off the paper, my dad took that dog, put his nose in there, smacked him on the ass, said no, and put him outside. This is where you shit. You don't shit in my house. You shit out here. If you want to go outside, I'll leave the door open. You got a whole big old fenced-in yard you can run around in. No, we didn't put our dogs on leashes outside. We let the damn dog run around in the yard. Fucking dog had fun. You know? Yeah. For anybody who might be watching this into there's any weed, no, that's weed. All right? This tobacco. You know? Yes, I do smoke weed. I smoke weed medicinally, man. I know how to spread it out. I know how I know how to use it in dosages. I stay at a certain level, and it keeps the pain off of my leg. Okay, I use it medicinally, man. And that's my roommate's my doctor, man. He got weed, I get weed. He got his license and everything. He's got weed, I got weed. That's his. We barter. We have the barter system up in here. If he buys food and he wants some of mine, you ask me, you got it, man. Tobacco, I got tobacco right here. His fingers are in that bag as much as mine are. and I buy the tobacco most of the time. It's called communal living, man. I'm not saying it's recommended for everybody. I do have my shit, and he's got his shit. We don't go into each other's shit. If we do, we ask. But food, most of the food in here, we both got access to the food. He buys food. I want something. I say, man, can I have some of the noodles? Yeah, go ahead, man. Or can I have some of that beef you bought? Yeah, go ahead, dude. I don't give a shit. It's food. It goes in and comes out. Goes in and comes out. It's what it's there for. It's there for you to eat. Ugh. But that doesn't mean it works on a grand scale. I mean, you can have two or three people living in a house and live communally, man. You share everything in the house, but you can't live in a collective like that. It doesn't work. It doesn't work because someone in that collective is going to get a little bit greedy. Same with communal living in a house. I get greedy, he gets greedy. I'm not gonna lie. There's times when he don't give me no weed and I'm fiending and I feel like jumping on his throat. I just bite my tongue because it's not my place to bite my. It's not my place to chew him up for doing that. It's his place. His place to keep the. It's his place to keep his word. It's not my place to make him keep his word. Just like it's his place. It's my place to keep my word, and it's not his place to make me keep my word. If I have any integrity, I keep my word. Let my yeses be yeses and my noes be noes. If I tell you no, I mean no, man. Ain't no walking around it and trying to dig around and trying to, you know, you, you know, pull on my heartstrings, man. Well, the more you pull on my heartstrings, the more I cut them motherfuckers. Seriously, man. People that pull on my heartstrings, you're just trying to take advantage of that. That's the difference between Gen X, Boomers, and the rest of these generations, man. We know how to cut heartstrings, man. I know how to burn a bridge, man. There's some bridges I put demolition up on that shit because I don't want these people back in my life. That's apple juice. I don't want these people back in my life. So there's some of these bombs, there's some of these bridges. I nuked them, man. I don't want these people anywhere near my ass. And I let them know too. Don't come around here more. Just like homeboy's lady. It's not his lady anymore. And she put him in jail for trying to push her out of my apartment, saying that he was trying to hold her in my apartment or in. And then the cops came up in here, and I told them, man, she tried to push away on my fucking door, man. I don't want her in here. Then I had to call 911 because she came banging on my door when he's in jail. She came and called me on the phone. I told her to get the fuck off my phone, man. Get the fuck out of my neighborhood, man. I'll come out there and run your ass down to Venice, man. Let the Crips handle you. Yeah, street life. I'll let the Crips handle her, man. I had no compassion for people like that. None. Because they have no compassion for themselves. I can't give them what they don't have for themselves because then it empties me. And I'm not going to empty myself for anybody, man. Unless it's my girl in the Philippines or my cat. Even breed, man. I have a line drawn in the sand. I don't let them come too far into me, man. I give them as much advice as I can, man. I give them 20 year senior advice. I'm 20 years his senior. I told him, stop bringing these skeezers up in here. Don't stop going out with these girls on the street, man. You're better than that, man. You go to a club, pick up a girl. You pick up a girl in a club, man. At least you got a place to fucking live. You know, you don't have to bring her up and sleep on my couch. There ain't enough room for three people up here. There's barely enough room for two men. If it was a female, if my girlfriend, we'd be sleeping together on the bed, and that couch would be open, and there'd be a hell of a lot less in here. Like I said, I don't really understand how people are letting this go on. How people haven't seen this like decades ago, years ago. It's kind of funny. Ever since Big Daddy got in office and got out of office, ever since he got in office until now, a lot of stuff I've never even, I knew about it, but I never even knew it would be on the public realm. Because every time I saw it pop into the public realm, I got yanked back by the news agencies. Now you got what, P Diddy, R Truth. I mean R Kelly, R Truth. Sorry, R Truth. I like you, guy. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love your dummy act. I know you're smarter than that. But R. Kelly, Usher, P Diddy's kid. That's the Black Epstein right there. I know. I mean, I knew that shit was going on behind the scenes. Hell, they were making jokes about the casting couch back in the '60s. Comedians were making jokes about the casting. They were making jokes on Johnny Carson about it until he got accused of it. And back in the '60s, they were joking about it. So it's been around for decades. And now you got what, Weinstein's in it, and you got that guy from Nickelodeon. You got that guy from that '70s show. From what I understand, he was in jail, and a gay gang put out a hit on him. A homosexual gang put out a hit on him, man, and that's why they moved him. That boy was going to be violated. He was going to be violated. He was going to be seriously violated, man. You know, I mean, how come? How can you not see this, man? I got as much compassion for people as anybody out there. These people are not migrants. These people are not migrants. How how many how many migrant fields do you have out there when you got 20 million people? The migrants were here to pick stuff in California. That was the first time I ever heard of a migrant worker. They would come up from Baja, they make their money every year and go back down there and spend it in Mexico, spend it for their families. You don't have 20 million people working on a freaking avocado farm. Okay, these are not migrants. These are not asylum seekers, unless it's a lunatic asylum. That's the only asylum I see coming up here. I'm not saying they're not good people. Not. I'm not saying there's good people and there's not good people coming up here. There's a lot of people that were fooled. Those are the people I urge to stand up and go home, man. Go home. Take the ticket and go home. Go fix your country, man. I mean, if you're being used, you're a fucking pawn. Okay, you were used in your country, and they brought you to this country to use you in this country. How can you have any dignity if you know that you're being used? And you guys in New York and Chicago, when they take them shelters away from you, you ain't gonna survive 30 below zero if you're from El Salvador, man. You don't even know how to stay warm. You don't have winter time down there. No, for a fact, you're almost on the equator down there, man. Your winter time is rainy season. Same thing in Southeast Asia. It's called monsoon season. That's your winter time. We get snow, and guess what, guys? 1 inch of rain equals 12 inches of snow. So you get 6 feet of snow in there. That's what? How many inches of rain? You get 4 feet of snow. How many? That's 4 inches of rain in one drop. And believe me, I've seen it happen. 4 to 12 inches of snow coming down in one storm. What are you gonna do then? You guys don't know how to build fucking snow caves and shit. And you think the city's gonna let you dig into the snow on the public property? These people are using you, man. And the criminals, I don't want you here, man. I don't want you here. Okay, I don't. You need to do what they did in El Salvador, man. Pick all you guys up and put you in a fucking prison, man. And if you're playing with little kids and you need to cut your dick off and feed you to the fucking dogs. Seriously. You're fucking with kids, they cut your dick off and they feed you to the fucking dogs. Okay? If you're a woman doing that, man, you need a hysterectomy and feed you to the dogs. Cut your ovaries out. You don't deserve to have kids if you're a female and doing that to a child. Melody, cut your balls off and feed you to the dogs, man. Feed your balls first and let you watch it, and then have the dog come attack your bloody corpse. I have no compassion for that shit. And I'm in a May December romance. My girlfriend's 27 years old and I'm 65. I met her when she was 19. And I broke up with her a couple of times. Okay? I vetted her. She's a good woman. She'll make a good wife. That's what I'm looking for. And I'm not gonna go play in the fucking goddamn I ain't gonna play on the fucking playground. I'm not gonna play on the playground. As a matter of fact, there were guys out in the street that we ran them out of town, man, when they were playing on the playground. Seriously, man. Seriously. You know, that's what you got running across the border right now. I mean, you guys ain't believing about the 4 a.m. drops that they had when Biden first got into office. You know, they had there's a guy called Monkey Works. He's tracking flights all over the United States, and they have flights going out of Texas and Arizona at 4 a.m. going all over the United States. Where are you taking these people at 4 a.m. on a plane? On a plane. That's the fucking heads of these damn Al Qaeda, the terrorist movements you're gonna have up popping up in here. And believe me, that's gonna happen too. Lots of people don't want to leave New York because they got a job to do. They're getting paid to be there. They're getting paid to be there. Not just their $2,000 or whatever they're giving them on the fucking card. They're getting backdoor money to be there. They're setting up their cells. They're setting up the cells right now. They've already been set up, but they're refining the operation right now. I'm a military-minded guy. When I see shit like that happen at 4 in the morning, you got a bunch of people, illegals. All of them are military-aged men. There's something going on with that, man. That's an invasion right there. And all you little Antifa turds and you BLMers, when you start hitting the streets and you got all these people that look foreign in your protest, man, you better watch out and make sure they ain't strapped. They don't give a shit if they're gonna kill you or not. You're cannon fodder, man. They're gonna hide behind you while they shoot at the other people. Seriously, man. America's so soft right now, man. The country's become a Twinkie. Soft on the outside, soft on the inside, full of shit you don't need, man. There's so many full of shit regulations of law right now. You can't even park the wrong way without getting a violation somewhere. And that's totally against the Constitution. Oh, you're a nerd. No, I'm not a conservative, dude. I'm a classical liberal, man. We believe in free speech. We believe in the Second Amendment. We believe in the Constitution. That's the original liberal, man. That's the '60s liberal, dude. You guys are liberals or neoliberals. I ain't even gonna call you communists or socialists because you guys, half of you guys don't even know what the fuck you are. You don't even know what ideology, whatever ideology pops up in that day, that's what you're gonna follow. You're a bunch of sheep. Well, you know what? A lot of the smart sheep are coming out of that herd. And all you're gonna be is a bunch of dumb sheep, and all these wolves are gonna eat you for dinner. That's what's happening right now. The left is starting to eat itself. The left, I call it the left. It's not the left. These are neoliberals. They are not classical liberals. They just like a neoconservative is not a classical conservative. Okay, they're totally different. They hijacked a term or an ideology, and they infested it with their own screwed up ideology. And it works off the ideology that the original conservatives and the original liberals held. It does, man. Liberalism is basically live and let live. Okay, live and let live, man. You live your life, I live my life. We don't fuck with each other unless we have to. You know, we become friends. It's cool. If we don't become friends, we're neighbors. We say hi to each other. We're friendly to each other. We're amicable to each other. We help each other if we need it. That's both sides of the fence, man. If you're not like that, you're not a human being. That's why I say, if I was running a community corporation, I'd clean house. I would. Then I'd turn my eyes to the board of directors and say, what are you guys doing about this? Because basically, it's my money running the show over there, man. I keep telling people that they don't like to hear it. I keep telling these tenants that they do this, they do this. No, 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 no. They don't want to hear because they're scared. They're afraid. They don't want to lose their apartment. That's how they use the gratitude on you, man. They turn the gratitude into fear. Anyway, I've been ranting long enough. I'm probably gonna take a little. I'm gonna take my medication. With my cat, and she's probably in the bathroom, or she might be looking at a poppy TV over here, looking out the door. Anyway, yeah, peace out, guys. I love you guys. Simplify. I don't know if anybody watches this, nor do I really care, but that's just for people that might pop up. Peace out. Love you guys. Simplify. End.